All right, good evening. This is the August 18th, 2021 Cottage Grove City Council meeting, which I'm calling to order. The first order of business this evening is the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'd please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please do the roll?
Councilmember Mills.
Here.
Councilmember Dennis.
Here.
Councilmember Thiede.
Here.
Councilmember Olson.
Here.
Mayor Bailey.
Here. Next on our agenda is open forum. This is the opportunity that for anyone that wants to speak on anything that's not on tonight's agenda is welcome to do so at this time. We do ask that you limit your time to 3 minutes. And there was a sign-up sheet out there, which I do have up front here, so I'll start with that just to make sure we caught everybody. And I'll just mention your name, and if you go up to the podium, and then just state your name and address for the record. So looking at the list here, Jennifer Needry.
I'm sorry to have to read off my phone.
No, that's okay.
Had some technical issues at home tonight. My name is Jennifer Nedry. My address is 7764 Jasmine Avenue South. And I just wanted to call to the attention of the council, thank you for being here tonight, that there were several recent Facebook posts that people were specifically asking for day trips along Route 61. And the screenshot that I captured talked about take Highway 61 along the Mississippi through Hastings, Red Wing, Lake City, Winona, south of La Crescent, then head up the Root River Valley, Rushford, and Lanesboro. Explore along the way, wherever you go, allow enough time to enjoy the scenery and take photos. A completely separate post talked about driving to Winona, not sure if we're going to take 61 or 52, and people again mentioned Red Wing, Prescott, Lake City, along Route 61. I always give shout outs to the local parks and businesses here in Cottage Grove when I can, but wouldn't it be great if people could say that they could visit a park right here on the Mississippi that would give all of those other cities and parks a run for their money and dollars for our local Cottage Grove businesses? On June 28th, the Star Tribune posted an online headline that read, Twin City Nature Centers see building boom as popularity grows and programming changes. And it talked about the growing demand for environmental education. And Mayor Bailey's May 28th Mayor's Moment video mentioned that the commitment around the community center is to provide every possible piece of information so you, the families of Cottage Grove, can decide on November 2nd if voting for a community center is best for me and my family and the future of Cottage Grove. So I'm talking about the Mississippi Dunes project. I think that it would put us on the map in a way that other things may not, so that we are top of mind in the same way that Red Wing and Hastings and other communities on 61 are. And I just would really like the council and the mayor to please take the families of Cottage Grove and our visibility in the state into consideration with this project. And I really appreciate all the time that you guys put into all of it. So thank you for listening.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, now we have Sue Abrahamson.
Good evening. My name is Sue Abrahamson, and I live at 971 Winterberry Drive in Woodbury, which may sound a little strange for me to be here, but I spent half my life in Cottage Grove. And I'd like to speak tonight about the senior center and what is happening to the seniors in Cottage Grove. About 2 months ago, some of us were informed that the senior center, as we've known it for 20 years, has now been cut from the budget. There is no more senior center in Cottage Grove. The director of community ed was given the edict to cut $1 million from the budget, and I think part of it was because of the pandemic, but also I think I've been kind of getting an inkling over the last few years that something was coming down the pipe. So I know it was very difficult for them to make that decision, but ultimately they did cut the senior center budget. And so for 17 years, I've been coming to the senior center, have enjoyed all of the activities that they've had. I'm experiencing a great sense of loss, as many of us other seniors, and I have a couple of my good friends here tonight too, that have felt the same thing. We're going through a grieving process right now. I know that Gretchen Carlson, who is working for Community Ed, has been meeting with me and others to try and have some type of activities that we could continue having for seniors, but no longer a senior center. I know that the city has been growing, and so the school district has been growing, and now it has turned into basic needs for them, such as ESL or GED classes. We originally had 4 different rooms that we could use. 3 of them were rather small, and then there was a large facility that we could use for exercise classes, bingo, bunco, and other lunches, etc. They're now going to make a divider to have 3 rooms out of the large space, but be able to pull it back for bingo and bunco. The other rooms have now turned into offices and cannot be used for senior activities at all. They're having to cut quite a few of the, what we feel are very important programs for the seniors because they don't have anybody to direct it, and one of them is Project Go. I don't know how many of you have had children when they were in 3rd grade. Grandmas would come in and help sew pillows. That has been one of the highlights. And I remember as a principal how exciting it was to have the grandmas come in and work with the 3rd graders. They have no one to run it now because they've cut the funding. And so that project is now kind of on the sideline, maybe some other day. My concern is with the space that we have, it may be limited to maybe a year or 2 because everything keeps growing. And at some point, we're going to be told, you can't have any of this space. So we would like to be proactive and start talking to the city and other people to find out what we can do. Our seniors need a place. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to get together, bond with each other. I've had such good friends for the last 17 years. And we laugh together, we cry together, we give advice to each other. We've seen our good friends pass away. We've seen our friends that have serious illnesses, but we all stick together. And there's not a place now for us to go and just sit and talk there. My group that I also work with is the crafting group, which 2 of my friends are also in. We're meeting at the library right now. And we met outside in the parking lot when the pandemic started, 6 seats apart or feet apart. So that's how close we are. We met at the park for quite a while till it got too cold. So we are very strong. We are want to do things to help. And so this is the beginning of hopefully us to have a dialogue to talk about solutions. Now I know you have a referendum coming up, and I've heard tell that maybe one of the rooms could be used for the seniors. I did read the description twice, and I didn't see anything that said seniors. And if that's true, then maybe you need to advertise more for seniors, because you have a lot of seniors. And I think if they knew they might have a place, they would be very happy to help with the referendum. I was reading it to a group, they said, we don't need a swimming pool because we're old. Our kids are grown and they're gone. We need a place that we can call our own and have our community. We've worked hard, we're old, but we're fun, and we want to help this community. So I'd like to thank you for listening to me, and if there's any help that we can give, any words of advice or anything, we're here. So thank you so much.
Well, I would just say thank you for sharing the information. We are aware of what's going on with Community Ed as regards to the senior center. So I know Zach, who's listening intently back there, and including maybe some of the marketing elements that we need to make sure that there is a knowledge base out there that seniors are absolutely going to be part of this community center. And there's plenty of space there. That would be, whether it's crafting and all that kind of stuff.
It would be wonderful.
But of course, you know that depending on and you mentioned it, the next couple of years. I mean, if it passes this year, it'll take a few years
Right.
to build it. So we probably need to figure out something in the interim.
Sure.
Until that happens. But Zach, we can kind of work together with our staff and we'll get back to you then.
Okay, sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, and then I believe the last one here is Marjorie Harper? Oh, you're with her? Okay, sounds good. So you want to say ditto? There you go. Now, in case there was anybody that came in late or wanted to speak on tonight's open forum, or is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak? All right, seeing none then, I will go ahead and close the open forum, and then we'll move to number 5, which is adoption of the agenda.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Dennis, second by Councilmember Thiede. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 6 is presentations. There are none this evening. 7 is consent calendar. Is there anything council wants to pull on tonight's consent? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to approve consent.
Move consent.
We have a motion by Councilmember Mills,
Second.
second by Councilmember Thiede. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So if you are here for anything that's on tonight's consent calendar, all of those items have now been approved. So if you're here for basic needs, you're good.
Thank you.
You got it. All right. 8 is approved disbursements. 8A is to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
Motion by Councilmember Dennis,
Second.
second by Councilmember Thiede. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9 is public hearings. There are none this evening. 10 is bid awards. There are none. 11 is regular agenda. We do have one item this evening, which is Innovative Chemical Incorporated site plan review. And Mike Marosla, sorry, these guys are having fun with me on that, Mike, will be taking us through this. So welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Good evening. Innovative Chemical Corporation has submitted a site plan review application. The applicant is proposing an 18,600 square foot addition to the existing facility located at 7769 95th Street South. A little background on the project and the site. The city administratively approved the site plan for Innovative Chemical Corporation, or ICC, in May of 2004. This approval also included, as shown on the screen here, a 9,600 square foot addition to the building to be completed at a later date. Some time has passed. However, at this time, the applicant is proposing to do a larger addition due to growth. ICC is a chemical manufacturing of household and commercial cleaning products. The existing building is 24,960 square feet, and it contains an office warehouse facility with a mezzanine of 4,800 square feet, and it's also located on 2.86 acres. The project conformed with all the I-2 zoning district's standards at the time of approval. The existing site has 50 parking stalls installed, plus 16 proof of parking. And as I previously mentioned, included a 9,600 square foot addition. So tonight, we are reviewing the proposed 18,600 square foot addition to the south side of the building. The addition is designed to complement or match materials of the existing building. So it's gonna be an exact replica of what's out there material-wise using tip-up panels, and will complement the existing structure. There is one new dock door proposed as part of this project. At the Planning Commission, there was a question raised about access to the dock door, as there is dock doors shown in this general area. However, the applicant stated at the time that these dock doors will be, there's no permanent staging of trailers out there as there currently is on site. So if they ever needed to use this door here, they would make sure these docks weren't utilized. As I previously mentioned, we did go through the I-2 zoning district standards. This one meets all the standards. It's worth noting, though, that the rear yard setback here is 60 feet. The applicant is proposing 35.6 feet. However, a variance was approved in 2000 that permitted a 10-foot rear yard setback. So this is consistent with that approval at the time. As part of this project, as you can see, there is some tree impacts. The applicant originally did not plant these trees, as he was proposing to do the addition sooner. However, times and conditions have changed, and the applicant is now submitted an updated landscaping plan showing these plantings planted along the property and at the rear here. So the numbers work, and the applicant's proposing to improve the landscaping as part of this project next spring. Parking on site, as we previously mentioned, there's 15 existing parking stalls shown on red on the screen. There's 16 proof of parking that was originally approved. During the original approvals, though, the applicant was proposing to utilize the warehousing space as manufacturing, and the parking on site did not work with that. As part of this application, staff did review the parking and existing office, manufacturing, and warehousing use on site, and redid the numbers And the proposed use would require 71. There's 50 on site, however, the applicant is not intending to use all of those. However, there is proof of parking just in case the use does intensify or does change. So there's enough parking on site to support the proposal. And that completes my application. And I think it's also worth noting that over the past 2 months, we have seen two existing businesses to expand their product. North Star Sheets a couple months ago, they did that 36,500 square foot addition, and now we're seeing ICC. So we're seeing some reinvestment in our industrial park.
Fantastic. Mike, thank you, and kudos for bringing that comment up at the end there too, because if it's kind of cool that our business park is both very large end users that are expanding or doubling in size, and then obviously we got some of our smaller businesses that have started out small that continue to expand in our business park, so it's pretty cool. So, Council, any questions for Mike? Yes, Councilmember Dennis.
Thank you, Mayor. Not a question, but just a quick piece of feedback. For the community to know, both the mayor and I serve on the Economic Development Authority. And so one of the things that we've seen over and over for a number of years now is continuing success for the businesses that come here. And so the greater message that we like to promote to people is that Cottage Grove is a great place to come for investors to do business and have opportunity. And when you look at a lot of these companies, some of them have expanded 3 times. So, I mean, that shows just how good things are here. So we would like to just take the shameless moment of opportunity to plug all the good things happening in the community, especially in our business park. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, there is a motion that's on our screen or on your sheet in front of you. I just need a council member to make a motion.
I would move that we adopt Resolution 2021-108 approving a site plan for an 18,600 square foot addition to the Innovative Chemical Company building located at 7769 95th Street South.
All right, I have a motion by Councilmember Thede. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Mills. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There we go. Thank you. Next is 12 is council comments or requests. I'll start with Councilmember Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. I will pass this evening.
All right, sounds good. Councilmember Dennis?
I think I'll make up for both of us because I have 4 things.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I'll make them brief. First and foremost, I want to thank publicly Mr. Ben Boyk, who's sitting in the back of the room. He has been our community development director here for the city for probably about the last 2 years or thereabouts, and he's done a great job here for us. He's moving on to the city of West St. Paul, and where he can work on redevelopment and other issues over there, which is kind of his forte. But just wanted to take a moment to thank him for his leadership here and the great work he's done in helping us as a community to be successful. Second to that is we had a recent storm, and so there's been a slew of individuals coming into the community, different roofing contractors and such, and I know I've had some people knocking on my door. And what I'd like to do is just put out, because I've seen a lot of folks commenting on different local forums about this. If you have a question relative to, is a contractor known, or you're seeking to understand if somebody's licensed, please don't hesitate to give the city a call. Now, we're not going to recommend a contractor to you, but we can certainly give you some insights as to whether or not they're known and they carry various licenses. And that could go across any band of spectrum for which we license contractors here. And that number, if you want to call, is 458-2800, and that'll get you to the front desk here, and that can be directed where it needs to go. And one other just helpful hint, and I can say this because I'm not a member of the staff, I always recommend going local first if you can. We've got a lot of great companies here in town by people that have skin in the game. They live here, they have a business here, and because of that, they want to maintain a great reputation. So it's always good to consider local first. The third item tonight is something I touch upon probably twice a year, and it's the issue of what I call crimes of opportunity. And this is where we have mischief makers and other people creating issues for our community. So we like to recommend if you have a car parked outside, keep it locked, don't have keys in it. Take the garage remote out of it if you can. Keep your garage door down at night. Keep the house doors locked. Do the types of things that make it difficult for someone to come in and create a problem. Criminals don't like to be seen, and they don't like to spend a lot of time where they're at because that increases their opportunity of being seen. So just do what you can to make a difference. If there are folks who want to reach out to our police department, we certainly would be happy to have someone give them some tips and advice on how they can better protect their property. So that's something that we can all do together. And if we work together and make the community a harder place to come and do bad things, then we see those numbers tend to go down. So that's something worthwhile to do. And then last but not least is I just want to take a moment to wish Mayor Bailey and his wife a happy anniversary today. I believe it's 37 years?
37 years.
37 great years. So I did offer him I'd cover the meeting tonight, but his dedication was he wanted to show up and be here as he does as mayor. But very happy anniversary to you and your wife.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Thiede?
Well, if you're anything like us anymore, you get a little bit older and you just wait till the weekend to do something, but
Actually, that's actually what we're doing. It's actually true.
so happy anniversary.
Thank you.
The only thing I want to say is for everyone to continue, try and be diligent about health and so forth. We certainly don't want to see this pandemic explode again, so think about community and think about protecting yourself, protecting others, and I'd say let's leave politics out of it and just think about health and each other and so forth. So guess that's all I gotta say, because I'm thinking about also the great Minnesota get-together.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a little bit hairier, I know I'm gonna probably be wearing my mask at certain times and so forth, even though I've been fully vaccinated and everything, but so.
Awesome. Councilmember Olson? All right. I just have a couple items real quick. It kind of maybe piggybacks a little bit off of what Councilmember Thiede was just mentioning, and I'll just state two things. One is, if you didn't hear in the news, the Park and Ride in Cottage Grove is one of the 3 park and rides around the Twin Cities that'll be utilized for the state fair. Well, as you also know, as Ryan knows, because him and I talked about this, our Public Works Director, there is some construction going along West Point Douglas right now, so we're trying to make sure that everybody can get over there and get the buses. I would just tell you to be patient. Make sure you leave a little bit early to get there, to get on the buses to go to the state fair, because a lot of people are going to be coming into town to Cottage Grove to take the bus, I would assume, to go to the state fair. And parking could be at a premium because of the lack of, I guess the good news for us is there's a lot of new businesses going in along West Point Douglas. The bad news is that extra parking areas that we used to have isn't necessarily there anymore, so other than the main parking lot. So I just wanted to mention that to people when they're doing the state fair. And then the second thing is I happen to be talking with our Director of Public Safety, Pete Kerner, and Lori Olson, for the Strawberry Fest, and at this point, and of course, a lot of things can happen, so that's why your comment about, getting vaccinated and social distancing and such is so important, is we are planning to have the Halloween parade this year. And so at this point, they're actually planning to do that, and some of the other cities and floats and things are going to be coming, so this could be a little bit bigger than normal for what we're hearing, but of course, a lot will depend on what's going on with this variant, and I know it's a long ways off, but let's just do our part as Councilmember Thiede had mentioned. And then the last thing I'll just mention real quick is today we had actually Ryan was on a call with me this morning with the state of Minnesota regarding the 3M settlement agreement, which I believe all council is keenly aware of at this point. This is the settlement that was done that provides monies for cities in the East Metro to provide clean water solutions as part of the PFC settlement with 3M. And the great news is, I guess I would say that what we wanted within our city for the treatment and permanent treatment and such, additional wells and such, is we're getting it. So you will see that we've actually, in essence, started already. There's some stuff happening behind the scenes to get going on the 2 treatment plants that we'll have, the additional wells that we're going to be drilling, and some other things that will come out a little bit later. And you will see a logo which actually I think got posted today on our city's Facebook page, to kind of identify with the public so that they know these projects that are coming to town and happening within our community are in support of clean drinking water. And I'll just say this because I need to. Your water is clean to drink today. We do have temporary treatment going on, so everybody is safe to drink today. What we're looking for and what we're going to be getting is a permanent solution for the future, so we never have to worry about this issue again. So that's all I wanted to mention on that. Next on our agenda was workshop open to the public. There is none this evening. 14 was a workshop closed to the public. There aren't in this evening, so we're moving to adjournment before 7:30. Maybe. Who's going to make the motion?
I move to adjourn.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Thiede,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember Mills. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We are adjourned. Have a good night.